Hey everyone, it's Heather from Fit Fun Mama, and today is Vlogtober day 8. So that means it's October 8th, and I've been talking about some fairly personal struggles, with weight loss. I mean, I think that the weight loss is a fairly personal thing. Health and fitness is different for each person, and I think that to really be honest about yourself and your body, you have to get a little personal. So today I want to do kind of a little get to know me. So first of all, my name is Heather, and I am an independent teen beach body coach. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. But just to give you the basic information, I am 27. My birthday is in May, and my husband is, well, this isn't really about him. I've been married to my husband now. We just had our 10th anniversary. Together we have 2 children. They are 11 and 7. Their names are Alex and Zach. They're both boys. Yes, so I'm sure you can do the math. I had my children very young, which is why we didn't get immediately married, which I thought it was important to wait to get married until I was a little older then. But, looking back now, I don't think that it really made a difference that we waited a couple of years. Honestly, obviously it wouldn't have mattered because we're still together. So it just would have been 12 years instead of 10. But, okay, so I'm a stay-at-home mom outside of Beachbody. I have been a stay-at-home mom since we moved to our house in Jane Lou, West Virginia. And that was, I guess, almost 6 years ago now. It's really been awesome. I wish that I could have stayed home the whole time that my children were little, but it just wasn't possible. So I'm grateful for Team Beachbody for the opportunity to be able to contribute and still stay home with my children. So basically, I was always fairly thin. There aren't a lot of overweight people in my family. My mom was always, she passed away a few years ago now, but actually like 6 years ago now. But she was always thin. She was never overweight. So it's not something I ever struggled with until I had my first child at the old age of 16. When you're really young, well, okay, maybe not everybody. I personally use that as a giant excuse to inhale anything that I could stuff in my face, whether that be bags of cookies or chips or containers of ice cream. So I weighed 115 pounds, and then I ate a lot, and I was very nearly 200 pounds when I had my first son. I believe I was at least 190, and that caused a lot of stretch marks. When you stretch out your body that fast, it doesn't have time, your skin doesn't have time to comfortably stretch out. It basically just rips it. So that's what causes stretch marks. The underneath layers of your skin actually pull apart and leave scars. And basically, after I had him, I would say I weighed in like the 150 to 160 range. I honestly did not step on the scale. I wasn't concerned about that. I was so young and just so wrapped up in having my baby and being a mommy. I really didn't think about it. I mean, sometimes, when you put your clothes on, you don't really feel comfortable. And I did experience that some, but I never really felt overweight. I never really felt horribly unhappy in my skin. And basically, I lived that way until he was about 3 years old. I honestly didn't lose any weight. And so when he was about 3 years old, I started to kind of say, okay, well, how long can I say, well, I just had a baby, so, it's okay if I have a little extra squish. And at that point, I believe I was 18 or 19, so I was very young still. And the only way that I really knew how to lose weight was just to eat less food. I didn't think about working out because it wasn't something I had ever done. And so basically, it started out simple enough. I just started eating less and less, and then the more that time passed, I realized that not eating food would make you lose weight. And I got a little obsessive with it. I don't know that I ever really put my health at risk, but I got to the point where, you know, I found it, this may sound bad, but at that point in my life, I found it fun to see how long I could go without food. I thought that it was really cool that I could have that kind of, you know, like control, I guess, over what I was doing. You know, okay, how long can I wait this time before I eat? How little can I eat today? And I know now how unhealthy that was, but it really didn't occur to me at all until, so I mean, and I didn't even go to extremes. The lowest weight that I believe that I got doing that was 125 pounds, which is not unhealthy. I'm 5'4". I meant to say that earlier, but I didn't. So I'm 5'4", and 125 pounds is perfectly healthy. Really, they say down to 115 is healthy for my height, but I don't know. I think that might be a little thin. I haven't been that thin since before I had my first child, so I really couldn't tell you. But so then, just as soon as I got to a point where I really felt comfortable in my clothes, guess what happened? Baby number 2. I found out that I was pregnant with my second son shortly after my mom, actually it was a week to the day after my mom found out that she had lung cancer. And I mean, we're really getting personal now, but that was he's kind of my little miracle baby because a lot of people in my family have died from lung cancer. They were all smokers. I don't smoke. I'm the only one out of my family who doesn't, so I'm proud of that. But they all smoked, and most of them have died from lung cancer. So when my mom found out that she had cancer, I kind of knew how that was going to end. And so I told my husband, I said, well, that's it. We're not having any more babies because I don't want to have a baby without my mom being there. It's not something I want to do. So a week later, we found out that I was pregnant already with our second child, who was born in he was born in April of 2006, and she passed away in December of 2006. So she was there for him to be born, and she got to hold him and see his first, no, she didn't see his first Christmas, it was before that, but she was there, and she held my hand, and it was awesome. So that's kind of not what I wanted to talk about today, but anyway, so I have my miracle baby. They're both very special to me. Having children is, yes, I'm that mom, okay? I have really no life outside of my children. They make or break me. Without them, I would not be where I am today. My family, well, I guess if we're getting personal, we might as well really get personal. I grew up in a tiny little stick hole in the ground hillbilly backwards town, okay? I live in West Virginia, and I grew up in just a drug-filled town. Everybody does drugs in that town. And so I believe that if I hadn't had my son when I did, I would have continued down a very destructive path and probably ended up like most people from my hometown. So I say that they're my little lifesavers. Without them, who knows where I would be. And my husband, of course, because he was kind enough to take me away from all of that. He just moved me right away, and that was the best thing that has ever happened to any of us. That and, you know, finding my second passion in life, which was helping people get fit. Okay, so we'll move on past all the drama, but, I keep looking up here because that's where I see my face. And I know the camera is right there. So I'm sorry that I'm not looking at the camera. But I had my second baby. I'm like 10 minutes in and like totally off track. I had my second child and I didn't gain as much weight, but I still gained quite a bit. But this time, it came off much quicker. I didn't do anything unhealthy. I wouldn't say I ate healthy foods. I definitely still ate a lot of junk foods. I just, I would say I exercised portion control and I breastfed, and that really does help a lot. That was the difference, really, that, and I stopped eating a whole box of cookies. So, I got back down to about 127 pounds within like the first 3 months. I didn't have a problem at all losing weight from that pregnancy. It was after that I really started to pack on the pounds. We moved. My mother had passed away. I had moved away from all of my family and everybody that I knew. And we just kind of lived in our own little personal bubble for a long time. For I would say like 4 years. I cooked huge, full of like calorie, just overload, cheesy, meaty pasta dishes, like just anything unhealthy, and these just crazy desserts, okay? Like, we would have baklava. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's basically like a flaky pastry with lots of nuts and honey, and like just it's very unhealthy. And butter, all the butter, and we would eat stuff like that every day. And I got up to very nearly 150 pounds, and then I stopped getting on the scale again because I just didn't want to see it. And I was okay like that. Like, I felt uncomfortable, and I was so tired all the time. I was just exhausted constantly. And I will never forget this day as long as I live. I remember the day that I knew that it was time to stop being so lazy and to change. I knew I had to change something. I was making my bed, and I was on the phone with my bestie, and she said, "Heather, what are you doing? You sound like you're running a marathon." And do you know what I was doing? I was making my bed. I wasn't stripping the sheets. I wasn't flipping the mattress. I was just like straightening up the sheets and the blanket and the pillows and stuff. So, I mean, it was nothing. I was hardly doing anything, and I was so out of breath. And then I was like, man, I'm 25. I was 25, and I was so winded and exhausted just from straightening up the sheets. And I knew right then that no 25-year-old, or really nobody, should be that out of breath just making the bed. So I basically just went online and started doing research, and Facebook pages, I think they used to call it becoming a fan at that time, still on Facebook. Sorry. So I went out and I became a fan of a ton of pages. But I did not even find my little diamond, my little miracle pill. I didn't find her that way. I have a friend that I went to school with, and she's the sweetest girl in the world. So sweet. Her name is Sarah, and she liked this page called Slim Down with Sarah. And immediately when I saw her profile picture, I knew that I wanted to get to know this woman. She was so much like me that it was scary. She has 2 little boys. Her husband is in IT. She was a stay-at-home mom. But, I found out all of that later. The first thing that drew me to her, and I'm sure this is not something she wants to be known for. It's not something I would want to be known for, but I know she's proud of her body, and she should be. I saw that she has stretch marks, and she was beautiful and sexy and thin and had these just amazing muscles. And right at that moment, just seeing her picture, something clicked in my head and said, hey, if she looks like me, if her body looks like mine, and she still looks that good, well, what's my excuse? Because I always just told myself, well, I'm a mom, and my body is all scarred up from having kids, and no matter how much I weigh, that's never going to go away. So why should I bother in the first place? Why bother working out and going through all that trouble if my body's just going to be scarred anyway? Well, lo and behold, you can have stretch marks. You can have a mommy belly or a mommy body, because Lord knows I have them everywhere. Literally everywhere. I have them all up and down my legs, arms, back, butt, breasts, stomach, everywhere. So you can have all those stretch marks and still look good. So her page is Slim Down with Sarah, and you can find her at slimdownwithsarah.com. And she also, it must be something about girls named Sarah, because she is another one of just the sweetest women in the world. All she wants to do is help people. So I found her, and I believe I sent her a message. I don't remember, but she turned me on to a program called Turbo Fire, and that changed my life. I hated working out. I had tried Taebo, and actually my husband had bought P90X a long time before that, so we already had that. I hated P90X. I hated Zumba. What else did I have? I had Walk Away the Pounds by Leslie Sansone. I hated that. I had all kinds of yoga DVDs and Pilates. I think it was Denise Austin. Does that sound right? I can't remember if that's her name or not. Anyway, I had all of these workout DVDs that I just literally hated. I could not make myself do them. And so I just told her, I said, I hate working out. And she said, well, have you ever heard of Turbo Fire? And I watched the infomercial, and I just knew that that was for me. And so I did Turbo Fire, and I lost like 20 pounds, I believe it was, almost. And I just, I love it. It's crazy. I actually looked forward to working out. And since then, I've become a Beachbody coach. And let me just be honest here, and I know I'm not the only one that did this. When I signed up to be a Beachbody coach, I did it because I knew I wanted to buy Shakeology, and I knew that I wanted to buy more workout programs, and coaches get a big discount. And so I signed up just for the discount. Sorry guys, I just brushed my teeth, so like, you know, ugh. Anyway, I signed up just to get like the cheaper prices. I didn't intend on trying to help anybody or anything. That all came later. So for the first while, I didn't really do anything as a coach except for buy things. And then I started checking stuff out, and I started talking to people that I would meet about, you know, how, well, when you have to go out and buy a whole new wardrobe, people notice. People that you see on a regular basis notice that you lose weight, and they ask you about it, and they want to hear your story. And the more I talked about it, the more I knew that I really enjoy talking about health and fitness, and the thought of actually helping someone, the thought of me making a difference in someone's life, or me helping somebody feel better about themselves, it just is the most amazing feeling in the whole world. A second only to being a mother. I just it is something that I want to do, whether I never make any money or I, you know, have $1 million. It doesn't matter, because I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, just want to help people. I just want people to know that you can feel better. You can get up and have energy and chase your kids and not be exhausted. You can. It is possible. You will be amazed at how much better you feel when you start moving. Okay, this video is already 19 minutes long, so I'm going to say goodnight to you guys now. And I'm going to say, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching. I know that I talked a lot about some really personal stuff that maybe I shouldn't have shared, but I did anyway, because we're friends. So I know I can tell you things. So I will see you guys tomorrow for Vlogtober day 9, I think. I never know what day it is. When you don't work outside the home, you don't have to know the date. So I hope that you guys are having a great night. I hope you guys have a great day tomorrow, and I hope you do something to improve your health tomorrow. Just walk, just run, just jog, just park farther away, take the stairs, you know, all those things. Just do something to make yourself feel better. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.